guys, it's Allie. You can call me Allie, and today we are ranking every single book that I have read in 2025. Alright, so 2025 was a very interesting time for me. I read a lot of different books. I read a lot of weird genres, weird premises, and not a lot of the books were my favorite. There was not a lot of 5-star reads, but we're going to start this off with what I read in January all the way to what I read in December, and excuse the vacuuming, the cleaners are here. Oh, let's go over our... So S is, they're the best books I've read ever. I would reread them over and over and over and over and over again. A is, these were really good, but they're not my absolute favorite. B is, these were okay. C is, I didn't like these. And D is, I will never pick this book up ever again. All right? Starting off with A Wrinkle in Time. This is about, everybody knows A Wrinkle in Time. This is about a girl who goes through like a tether and gets to a different dimension to find her dad. I'm going to give this a C tier. I did not care for this. It wasn't my favorite. I didn't like it at all. I think it's just because I watched the movie before I read the book. Next is Wolf Song by TJ Klune. This is going in D tier. I hated this book so much. I felt like the story could have been cut down in half. It was very pedophilic. I did like the magic aspects, and I did think I would like the relationship if it wasn't so pedophilic. One of Us is Flying. I'm going to give this a tier. Quite like the premise. I quite like the tropes. I liked the book, and it was very good for what it was written about. Old Girls Behaving Badly. I'm gonna give this a B tier. Old Girls Behaving Badly is about two old women who are going through life, learning to just be with each other. It's basically a critique on how old people kind of give up their lives, and I quite like it, and I like the murder mystery aspect. I'm not sure if I would probably read it again. It's a good read, but I don't think I would read it again, like pick it up immediately. And it's also not in my Christmas list to be bought. So The Inheritance Games, I'll give this one A tier. I quite like The Inheritance Games. I think the entire vibe was good. I didn't like the love triangle, but that's about it. The Inheritance Games about a woman who inherits, well, a girl who inherits some random billionaire's inheritance, and the family does not like it at all. Two Can Play. This is going in A tier strictly because I like the idea, I like the cover, and I like how short it was. This was a short and simple book. I love the romance. I love the miscommunication. I think this miscommunication was actually a good reflection of what miscommunications occur like in real life. One of Us is Back. I'm going to put this in B tier along with One of Us is Next. I just feel like they were sequels. They were okay. I think it got tiring after a while. I feel like the story makes sense, but I like how it wrapped up in a nice little bow, but I do feel like it was just repetitive, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like we needed something different in the two books, and we didn't get that compared to the first one. Aesthetica. I did not care for Aesthetica. I know a lot of people did, and maybe it's just I'm misunderstanding, but it took me so long to read. I felt like I was dragging through it, and I did not care for it. Assassination Classroom. B tier. I love Assassination Classroom. I love the shows. I love the books. It was just a really solid read. Girl in Pieces, S tier. I love this book so much. Oh my god. I don't know what I ranked it, but I think it's a really good critique on social expectations for teens, for adults, for people who hurt themselves, for people who have substance abuses, or who are addicted to things. I just think it's a great critique on that, and I think it really represents and is genuinely accurate. Now, I don't think the scenario might be as accurate, but then again, I was never in that scenario, but I do think it reflects a lot of mental health issues that I think we need to portray. The House on the Cerulean Sea, A tier. I love this. I love the romance. I did DNF the second book, but that's just because I didn't like who was reading it. I would be willing to pick up this book again. This is a really good book. I Who Have Never Known Man, B tier. I quite like this book, but it is not my favorite. I would not read this again. It was just really heartbreaking and really sad, but I think it is a great story. The Bad Beginning, C tier. I didn't really care for this book. I don't know. It was just, I think it's because I'm an adult now, and I don't really like reading children's books. Does that make sense? Yeah. Circe, A tier. I just think that it was very good. I started getting bored towards the middle, but then the ending picked me right back up, so. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, B tier. I think I just like the ending Harry Potter books better than the beginning Harry Potter books. The story was really nice, and I think the narrator that was narrating it really did not, you know, I just feel like it just wasn't. I did like the story though, and I love the movies. God Noise, B tier. I just don't like poetry, but my uncle did write this, and I do think it's really nice poetry. I just don't like poetry. The eyes are the best part. S tier. This is a really good critique on Asian culture and a really, really, really good critique on mother-daughter culture and familial culture. And it's a thriller, and it's about cannibalism. So if you really like that, and she gets her licks back. I'm telling you, she gets sweet, sweet revenge. If you want a revenge story with literary critiques about relationships, this is for you. An Abundance of Catherine's, B tier. I don't know. I like the story, but John Green is just not hitting like it does with The Fault in Our Stars. I'd read it again, but it's not my favorite. Pretty Girls, A tier. Some of the characters were just really boring. I feel like there was a lot of characters at some point, and then they all just kind of disappeared and then picked back up. But the premise is really good. It's so sick and twisted, like not even like a cute way. Like it's like, who the fuck would do this? And I definitely recommend you go read it. It's a thriller. Basically, this family of two girls, their older sister goes missing, and years later they're kind of finding out pieces of where she went. Looking for Alaska. Again, I'm gonna put this in B tier right along with An Abundance of Catherine, because just like Abundance of Catherine was not his best work. I think The Fault in Our Stars, I don't know if he wrote this before or after, but The Fault in Our Stars was a really good story, and I feel like he just kind of strayed away, and he's using the same cliches of, oh, girls, boobs, bazingas, and I'm a guy who's, you know, sort of nerdy and nobody really likes me, but look at that girl with her big old boobs and she likes me. It's enough. I'm tired. It's retired. He needs to write something new. And some of the things he says is not like misogynist, but it's just like, I wouldn't have said that. The Clinic of Sleeping Beauty by Anne Rice, D tier. Hated this book. Go watch my other video. I hated that book. I don't even want to talk about it. Verity, I'm gonna give this a tier. This is one of the only books that I somewhat enjoyed by Colleen Hoover. It was kind of misogynistic. It did have a lot of very bad takes, but it was also realistic in the sense that some people have those type of takes. Like some people really do think that. So what can I say? A tier. This is probably the only book, and I'm glad I didn't buy it. I will never buy anything from Colleen Hoover, but this is like the only book that I will recommend to somebody because I feel like it's not as outlandish as some of her other books. I Still Love You, B tier, because she pissed me off at the end. Why would she get with somebody who doesn't even like her? Like, that really irritated me. All that work that we did in book 1 and all the work that we did in book 2 just for her to throw it away at the end. And I do like the introduction of new characters. I think it was really good. And for the time period, it's like for the time period, it's like a really good book. I think if the author had written it like in now period, I feel like she would have had so much more fun. I feel like she would have created something super awe-striking and amazing, but you can really tell that it's from that time period. My Darling Dreadful Thing. This is my favorite book. I really like this book. It's just such a good critique. I gave this 5 stars. This is like one of my only 5-star ratings. This is my only 5-star rating for this year. Nope, I think I have 2 other ratings that are 5 stars, but I read this right after The Ads Are the Best Part, and it was just such a good reading. So good, so good, so good, so good. Oh my god, I recommend you guys read everything in my S tier and most of the stuff in the A tier. The War That Saved My Life, this was a reread. This is my only reread of the year, and I read this 5 stars because this is my favorite childhood book. It's basically about how this girl who's getting abused during World War II, I believe, gets with a loving family and, well, a loving woman, and is learning how to, you know, introduce herself to civilization. And I really like it, and I think you guys should, I don't know, like, read it. Just saying. Call Me By Your Name. This is another A tier. I really like this book. I'm going to read it again. I'm literally excited to reread this book. So it's a little bit different than the movie, and also there's a lot of poop stuff going on, just a lot of booty poop stuff. I don't know, but it is kind of pedophilic. That's the only thing I don't like, but I do like the story nonetheless. I think putting that aside, I was able to put that aside and I was able to read it for what it's worth. Twisted Love, D tier. Misogynistic. I hated this. The plot's not even good. The writing's not even good. Like, I could understand if the plot was bad and the writing was good, or the writing was good, or the writing was bad and the plot was good, but it's neither of those. The story is just horrible. I hated the story with a burning passion. I never want to read it ever again. And if you like this book, I do not trust you. This book was so bad. The entire premise was just ugly and misogynistic and belittling to women. Like, Great Big Beautiful Life, I think this is right there, up there. Right, oh my gosh, S tier. And the reason I say this is because this is one of the only romance books that I thoroughly enjoyed. I rated this one 5 stars too. This is my second 5-star read of the book of the year. And I read this in November, so. Our Wives Under the Sea, I'm going to give it a B tier. It was okay. I think it was really long for what it needed to be. I feel like it could have been super short and sweet, like Two Can Play. But it did somewhat remind me of The Ads Are the Best Part, sort of. I don't know. Reverie, I'm giving that an A tier. It was pretty good. I was confused for just a little bit. It's a really confusing book, but once you get the plot and once you understand what's happening, and also there's a drag queen in there, and who doesn't love a drag queen? I love a drag queen personally, and I just think the characters are really interesting, and I think the plot was really interesting, and I really liked it. Goth Girl Rising, I'm gonna give this an A tier as well, strictly because it reminds me of Girl in Pieces, just a worser version of that, and the characters in that really pissed me off. So, and last but not least, Don't Let the Forest In. I love this book. It was such a nice book. I really like this book, and I think I give this like a 4 something stars, and it was a romance too, and it was a gay romance. I quite like that. But yeah, so this is the ratings that I have chosen for the 2025 books of the year that I have read. If you enjoyed this video, check out some of my other ones, and thank you so much for watching.